The afternoon of Friday, July 24th, 1998. The Raccoon City Police Department is in a frenzy as local media and reporters flood into the press conference room eager for their scoop. Pressed tightly against their rivals on all sides, their attention is laser-focused on the upcoming press conference. Many of the journalists feel the police have been deliberately withholding information about the so-called cannibal murders in the Arklay Mountains and the missing hiker group, many of whom were still unaccounted for, and they are anxious to hear what has come of the investigation. A spokesperson for the R.P.D takes to the podium with a hint of dread, walking the plank beneath a swarm of hungry sharks. The spokesperson nervously looks down the barrel of the glass camera, hesitant to reveal the bad news, readying to toss them the first slab of meat.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. I'm here to provide an important update on the Raccoon Forest mission, our ongoing investigation into the recent string of homicides in and around the Arklay Mountains, and our continued search for the hikers who have been missing since mid-May. Our investigation has led us to believe that these heinous crimes are the work of an organized group, potentially with ties to occult practices. We are treating this group as highly dangerous and responsible for both the murders and the disappearances of the missing hikers. We have reason to believe that the murders are part of a ritualistic activity involving both drug use and human sacrifice, with evidence indicating instances of cannibalism.
So, the rumors were true. The journalist from the Raccoon Press hastily scrawls his notes onto his pad, the cursive so wild he worries he might not be able to read it later. Cannibals in this town in 1998? Maybe the world has gone mad, he thought, quickly returning his attention to the podium.
Last night on Thursday, July 23rd, the Raccoon City Police Department deployed the S.T.A.R.S Bravo unit to the Arklay Mountains to locate this gang's hideout in the forest. However, shortly after deployment, at approximately 10:20 p.m., we lost contact with our department's pilot, Kevin Dooley. Preliminary reports suggest that the Bravo team's helicopter may have experienced an unexpected engine failure, resulting in a potential crash within the forested area of the Arklay Mountains. The last known communication with the team was over this region. We are currently undertaking all necessary measures to locate the Bravo team and determine their status.
The murmurs erupted through the mob of journalists like a wildfire through a forest. The so-called Special Forces S.T.A.R.S unit, an elite task force hand-picked to counter local terrorism, had gotten themselves stranded before the mission had even begun. Stranded and surrounded by cannibals. We'll see how good they really are, thought the journalist glibly. Tongues wagged in whispered elation before simmering into hungry silence once more. The journalists refocused their attention on what is promising to be the most salacious story their town has seen in the last decade.
Now, these are highly qualified tactical forces, headhunted specifically for their technical and military expertise. And at this time, we do not believe they have met with any foul play. However, since it has been nearly 24 hours without any correspondence, we deem it necessary to dispatch a second unit. Captain Albert Wesker of the S.T.A.R.S Alpha Team will depart from this precinct later this evening to lead the search for Bravo Team's helicopter. Alpha Team's mission is to locate and rescue their fellow officers and to bring the situation in the mountains under control. We want to assure the public that the Raccoon Forest mission will proceed as planned, and those responsible for the recent murders will be brought to justice. We will provide another update in the coming days, but for now, we have preparations to make for this evening's deployment. We will not be taking any questions at this time. Thank you for your attention. And if you'd kindly make your way to the exit in an orderly fashion.
The words had barely left his lips, but the frenzied mob needed no invitation as they clamoured practically over each other to leave. It was clear the R.P.D had lost control of the investigation barely a few weeks since having been handed the case from local police. The Raccoon City citizens watch on fearfully, their unease far from abated, as the eager journalists fussily shuffled out of the conference room with the intent to race back to their publications and be the first of the media outlets to break the story. The journalists from the Raccoon Press followed quickly, embroiled in the mass of flailing arms clutching tightly to their pads or tape recorders. He raced for the downtown district on Park Street, where his compatriots in the Raccoon Press office waited expectantly, ready to break the scoop in time for the evening edition newspaper. This story was going to be big, and big money for them. Later that same evening, in the S.T.A.R.S office, Captain Albert Wesker briefed his unit on the Raccoon Forest mission, which had overnight become a search and rescue for their sister squad. Anticipation builds as many of the newcomers, eager to prove themselves, ready to strut their hour on the stage. After a short mission briefing, the S.T.A.R.S Alpha team made ready to depart for the Arklay Mountains. The members of Alpha Team. Barry Burton, a 38-year-old former SWAT and United States Air Force member. He maintains and supplies weapons for all S.T.A.R.S members. With over 16 years of tactical experience, he's one of the oldest members of the unit. He has led many successful projects and is a valued asset as a weapons specialist. Joseph Frost, previously a member of the Bravo Team and already stationed in Raccoon City, Joseph was recently promoted by Albert Wesker himself to serve as Alpha Team's vehicle specialist. Young, enthusiastic, and very curious, many of his former teammates are jealous of his quick rise to prominence at only 27 years of age. Chris Redfield, a tough, smart, and strong former Air Force airman who has overcome numerous critical situations and completed many dangerous missions. Having served in the same unit as his friend Barry Burton, his headstrong convictions, often clashing with his superiors, saw him either resigning in protest or being discharged for insubordination. Whilst drifting, he was scouted to join a burgeoning S.T.A.R.S unit in Raccoon City when it was founded in 1996. His exemplary marksman skills put him prominently as point man for Alpha Squad at just 25 years old. He is eager to prove himself and rise quickly up the ranks. Jill Valentine, a 23-year-old former US Army Delta Force counter-terrorism unit member who excelled at bomb disposal and lockpicking. Jill is a highly intelligent soldier whose quick reflexes, bravery, and common sense have rescued many S.T.A.R.S members from dangers in the past. Like Chris, she has recently been assigned to Raccoon City as Alpha Team's machine expert, excelling at handling mechanical devices and is Alpha Team's go-to B&E specialist. In charge of rear security and with strong moral convictions, Jill fights passionately for what she believes in. Brad Vickers, 35 years old and positioned in rear security along with Jill. He is Alpha Team's qualified helicopter pilot. His notable fear of dying, a character flaw that draws much heat from his fellow soldiers, and his lack of enthusiasm for rushing headlong into danger, has earned him the nickname Chickenheart. Also a computer expert and talented intelligence gathering officer, he is responsible for arming his compatriots with the best information and collating digital evidence. Albert Wesker. Having risen quickly inside the S.T.A.R.S organization, he is now Alpha Team's leader. 38 years old and viewed by many as the cool guy, not least for his snappy haircut and signature perpetual shades. Wesker was recruited by a headhunter for his sharp insight and practical aptitude, and founded the S.T.A.R.S unit in Raccoon City in 1996. Many are eager to prove themselves to him, including his second-in-command Enrico Marini of Bravo Team and Chris Redfield. And thus, the Bravo rescue operation and Raccoon Forest mission begins. A helicopter takes off from the Raccoon Police Department on the night of July 24th, 1998, as the S.T.A.R.S Alpha Team makes ready to search for the wreckage of Bravo Team's helicopter in the Arklay Mountains. They are tasked with rescuing their missing compatriots, the Bravo Team, and to locate the so-called cannibal gang's mountain hideout and bring them to swift justice for the incidents of abduction, mutilation, and murder in the Raccoon Forest outskirts.